Studio City, California, you're listening to The Second Column with Joe, Mike, Carlos, and Sean.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Thanksgiving edition of The Second Column. I am joined here by Mike Constantini.
Gobble, gobble, gobble. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Gobble, gobble, gobble.
Oh, man. There was no other way that was going to go. Wow. To my left is Carlos Jaime.
Hello.
All right. Very sensible, Carlos. Thank you.
you.
All right. And my brother, Tom, is joining us as a special guest, Tom Donatelli.
How's everybody doing today?
All right. Good, Tom. Glad to have him here. So we've had Dan on, and now we're having Tom. So both
completing the
Donatelli,
the tri-circle.
Trifecta.
Wow.
Right. This is the Legend of Zelda. We would have just reached a very important part of this
Triforce
podcast.
has been reached.
Triforce.
Yes.
It has. So
Now it's time to fight Gollum.
No, it's time to fight.
Gorgamek?
Not Gorgamek. No, who's
Gandalf.
Gandalf.
Yeah.
No, he's from the Lord of the Rings.
Oh, this is
Come on, who is the villain?
Gandalf?
Ganon, there you go.
Ganon. It was Ganon. It's a good thing we all know that. What's the Fourth Amendment to the Constitution?
Search and seizure.
Wow, good job, Tom.
It is?
Nice.
That's quick thinking.
I remembered it because search and seizure has 4 syllables in it. I had to memorize it in high school.
Also, you got busted for search and seizure a lot of
Twice.
times.
Wow.
Twice.
Well, there was a lot of search and seizure. So
Yes.
all right. Tom is my brother. Tom, are you here to promote anything?
Oh, of course I'm here to promote something.
what are
I'm
you
here to
promoting?
Ron Paul in
Ron
08.
Paul for 2008.
Yes.
And Tom is working for the campaign as a voter.
As a voter, as somebody who likes to tell other people about somebody they should know about.
It's
There you go.
interesting
Paul
about
in
Ron
08.
Paul, though, because a lot of people seem to like. People from differing parties. Like there's Democrats that like him, there's liberals that like him,
Yes.
there's Republicans that like him.
Yep.
The $2,000 that you guys are paying me tonight is going to the Ron Paul in 08 campaign.
Nice.
And
I have a question.
Yes.
Who is Ron Paul?
Are you asking that?
Actually, he's gained quite a bit of popularity in the
yes.
last maybe 3 months.
He is a congressman from Texas who is running as a Republican, and he started off kind of like as people just thought he was a joke. He wasn't going to do anything, and he's now raising more money than the major candidates, and he's starting to creep up the polls.
Is it going to be like Jesse the Bonaventura?
He may run as a third party. I don't know.
I thought he was originally running as a third
No,
party.
he ran
He's going to go as a Republican.
Yeah, he's
Well, I
running
think
as
it's
a
smart
Republican.
because you'll
You
get more back.
You get to be on the debates and all that good stuff. So
the
yeah,
third party never wins.
He is beloved by a wide spectrum of people that includes sane people like my brother Tom and I, and insane people who, if you go on the internet, you will find them. So he has attracted a fair cross spectrum of nutballs and smart balls like us.
You'll see the liberal media pointing out the nutballs.
The mainstream liberal media,
Yes, you'll see them pointing out
like this podcast.
Well, yes.
The MSM, like this podcast. So that's good, Tom. I'm glad you're here to promote that.
Of course, very important.
You don't have anything, any projects going on in your private life? Are you doing anything with your apartment you'd like to promote right now?
No, just.
Did you move anything of furniture around?
I'm pretty set there. So
okay. Well,
good,
Tom just
thanks.
moved into a new apartment
It's
recently.
fantastic.
Are you playing any games on the PlayStation right now?
We're not right now. I'm in between games, I guess you could say. So.
Okay. Very cool. Which is code for I'm spending a lot of time with my girlfriend.
Yeah, me and my girlfriend we're going to Disneyland tomorrow. So
That sounds like fun.
That's cool.
which tomorrow for the listeners would be I'm going on Sunday.
I'm going on
I'm
Sunday
going
before Thanksgiving.
on a Sunday before Thanksgiving.
So,
Okay.
Very cool.
I'm gonna ride all the rides.
Very nice. That sounds like a good day. Sounds like a good day.
I don't like I like some of the rides over there.
Yeah, it's hard to find an amusement park where you like all the rides.
They should have like a turkey ride. Just in honor of
Seasonal
Thanksgiving.
rides.
Yeah, like just
a flightless ride, a ride where you just go straight at a trot. Is that
I don't
what
know.
you're
You
talking
could
about?
have a ride like Save Thanksgiving. You got to go, and
you would-
get
you
all
would-
the turkeys out.
You would like ride something that was turkey-esque. Is that what you're saying though? Like
No, you'd be like, you could have a ride where there's like the avian bird flu, and it's like coming in and it's going to
What?
attack all these turkeys.
what ride is this?
So you got to go in as like biowarfare, like people, and get all the turkeys out. To
and
save
that's
Thanksgiving.
fun for a family.
How about this? How about the Holocaust?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
and
how
it'd
about
just be like,
how about a bio attack where 3 of the 5 members of your family die during the ride?
Right,
Think
yeah.
about
Biological attack.
think about how great it is. You always know a Disney ride ends well, so it means when you get out, you saved all the turkeys.
There's
and you
only
say Thanksgiving.
Listen, there's only one way the Thanksgiving turkey ride ends, and that's with a gunshot.
Yes.
That's with
and me eating a turkey leg.
Mr. Turkey gets one in the back of the head, and then we gather around.
Yeah, either by a pilgrim or a Native American.
Exactly.
Someone shot himself
Mike,
in
you
the
need
foot.
to get control of those sound effects.
Do it on a podcast. It's a little difficult. The controls are not great.
Yeah, no, we're doing all the sound effects through an iPod.
I like how he's drinking some vodka or whiskey or whatever.
Mike has his patented vodka whiskey going in one hand.
the old
and
vodka
iPad.
whiskey.
The old
It's hard to
vodka
handle
whiskey.
this.
I see you managed to squeeze an ice cube in today.
Well, no, there's a lot of
You
ice.
need water in your diet.
There's one ice cube.
There's
in
a
there.
lot of ice. It just
And
melts
I see
fast.
one ice cube in your vodka whiskey, Mike. All right, cool. We need closure on the story, Carlos, because it was a great story. And,
Well, last week we had the story
of Carlos and his meeting with the porn star.
Yeah, she's not a porn star.
I'm sorry, with the adult film.
No, she's no.
A model,
adult model.
She's
the
a
stripper. Naked model.
No, she's a
nude model.
Nude
she's
model.
an actress
Actress.
model.
Actress model.
I'm sorry.
Who gets naked? Yes or no?
I apologize. I didn't say that.
Hey, Jamie Lee Curtis did.
yes, she
Right.
did, and wonderfully so.
Okay, so this
Whoa.
wonderful Miss Nicole Lenz, who
Yes.
is comes to Carlos's office where he works.
Are we allowed to use her name?
I hope so.
I hope.
Well, she's a public person.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah. So anyway, long story short, she came back and you were able to help her with the.
With the registration, and I helped her put the plates on.
Right, and this is the first time you've ever left the office for somebody, right?
For something like that, yeah. With
So-
no questions asked. Not even
Normally, you would throw the plates at an older
Yeah.
woman
Yeah.
and say something like, "Do it your damn self,"
Right.
or
Yeah. But
"I ain't,
no, I
I
mean,
ain't helping
he-
you, oldie."
He
or-
leapt over cars, and in oncoming traffic,
Well-
he did combat
Well, first
rolls
of all,
to get to the car.
first of all, I heard you skidded across the desk like Bo Duke across
Yes.
the General Lee to get over to the other side
Right.
and help her, and then you landed on your feet and you actually said the words "ta-da."
yeah.
Yeah, and then-
wow, was there a camera?
I have my sources. I was
Yeah.
talking to our friend who came to the comedy show last night.
Oh,
She was
okay.
telling me what the scene was
Wow.
like. So you actually went down to the garage area and you helped her put license plates on her car,
As like a gentleman,
like a gentleman would. And in return, she gave you
a hug,
a hug.
like
That's
a
nice-
lady,
yeah.
a lady.
So how did your first date go?
Well, if that was a date, that was all right.
Good first
Yes.
date.
No, so you didn't ask her out.
What are you insane?
If that was a first date,
Are you
She gave you a
insane?
hug.
No.
No, she
If
gave you a
if a
hug.
girl gives you a hug, it means they want to sleep with you.
Yes.
Really?
If that was
I
a
have it on good
In
authority.
Ohio, man.
Or at least give you a hand job.
Oh,
No.
Come on.
I'd say if that was a
What?
first date, you basically got up from the dugout.
yeah.
And what was I doing? Like just
You didn't even get to the plate. Come on, Carlos.
really? And
All
no, hey,
Next
listen,
time ask
I'm
her
a
out.
Listen.
I'm a professional.
Listen, I'm not gonna heap on Carlos because I admire
It's
the
chivalry.
lengths of chivalry he went to in this instance, and
Yes.
I think it's very nice.
No. True chivalry would be if he does this for every person. And no,
No,
this was totally selfish. This was because he
No.
wanted to look at her some more. And
And what she wasn't
wrong with
saying
that.
no. She wasn't saying like, oh no, I
she
could do it
wasn't saying
myself.
no.
Yeah.
Put tape over your eyes.
Really?
That
Yeah.
leads me to an interesting point. I was thinking about that conversation we were having last time, where Carlos did a very chivalrous thing. I think we're all pretty lucky to be in this day and age and like court women, because in the days of yore, you used to have to like
the
we're going
days
back
of
to
yore.
you
The
used to have
days
to
of yore.
you used to have to like fight someone in order to date a woman,
And
like if there's a fair maiden you were going after,
Yeah.
she'd be like, "Oh, it's fine, I'll go out with you, but you got to go out and you got to fight like, Bill Bixby or whoever, was."
Bill Bixby.
Well,
Who's Bill Bixby?
I don't know. I was just using an arbitrary name.
In the days of yore, there was a man named Bill Bixby.
probably.
What was his role?
I don't know. He's probably one of those
He was a lord, wasn't he?
lord, or
Bill
some Lord
Bixby,
Bill Bixby,
the lord of what was the name of the realm?
the realm of tyrants. I
The
don't
realm
know.
of tyrants.
Yeah.
You had to fight Bill Bixby to go on a date.
Yeah,
The realm of
but
tyrants.
that's just it. I mean, like, how many guys died in a duel over a woman?
Well, how many did Bill Bixby kill?
Probably lots. I mean, a name like Bill
Wow.
Bixby.
What was his preferred machination of death? Like, what do you do? Like
Mace.
Probably.
What was
I was just
I'm
about
thinking
to say
mace.
mace.
Yeah.
So Bill Bixby of the,
I was about to say
the
a
land
mace.
of tyrants in the days of yore wielded a mace to keep
Yeah.
people from dating.
Now,
Yeah.
how many dragons did he kill?
Oh, probably lots. I mean, that's
Really?
that's another
Back in
thing.
the days of
Now, what do you
And in the days of yore, you always had a princess that was getting kidnapped. So I mean, it's a pain in the ass to
did
date
he-
her because you got to go and like save her all the time.
Now, why was Bill Bixby codpiece blocking everybody? Why was he
Yeah.
cod blocking all the dudes in the realm of tyrants who wanted
because he was. I think he was a
who wanted to
lord.
go with the fair maid? I know, but like, what? Why would he care so much about who was
Because in the days of yore, there always had to be a protagonist.
Well, protagonist is the hero, so he was
Antagonist.
Or an
he was the
antagonist. I'm sorry, yes.
So he was the bad
It's
guy.
always right.
But do you think he was born realizing his literary role, or do you think something happened along the way where he accrued some kind of title or reputation, or that became his job?
I think he probably just, for some reason, maybe he was gay and he didn't want to admit it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Bill Bixby was closeted.
Wow.
Bill Bixby was in
Lord.
well, it wouldn't have been a closet in the
Lord.
days of yore. He was in the
Pantry?
I wouldn't say pantry. He was in
No.
the
In the
wardrobe.
well or-
He
The
was in the
wardrobe. He was in
wardrobe.
the wardrobe.
He did
But
not
you
come
know-
out of the wardrobe.
That's just my point is, though, it's like guys had to go through a lot in the days of yore to
Bill
go out with
Bixby,
a woman.
like Bill Bixby.
I mean, they had to fight. They had to, fight dragons, save the princess,
Yes.
like time and time again.
And the thing was, your life expectancy was 24. So if you weren't married by like 12,
yeah.
it was over.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine
So-
having your midlife crisis at 12.
At 12.
Yeah.
No, imagine. No, you want to start dating at 12 and you have to fight Bill Bixby.
No, that's
and
Wow.
he's a 32-year-old man. And that's not fair. That's
with a
hardly
mace.
Lord
With a
Bixby
mace.
with a mace.
That's hardly a fair fight. These people were trying to get married at like age 14 and they had to go fight a 32-year-old man.
Aren't you guys glad we live in today's day and age?
The days of
Wow.
No,
now.
I actually wish I
took-
was in the
The
days of
here
yore.
and the now.
Took
It's the
Mike
perfect time.
7 minutes to figure out that it's awesome to be alive now.
Exactly. In the
Yeah.
days of now, as
In
I
the
like to
days
call
of
it.
now.
Wow. Was
So
there like
when-
who was the wizard? Was there a wizard over there?
Right.
Stop
Now
it,
Carlos
Carlos.
is Carlos is
Let's
What?
bring this back to Carlos. And so, okay, here, if
No.
if you see this person who comes when she comes in again, will you ask her out?
Probably not.
No, okay.
Wait,
All
wait, I'm a realist.
I can tell you who's not going to be happy about that is Dave.
Well, why?
I don't know. He seems like the kind of thing he would be happy about.
Or this young actress lady. She doesn't know what she's
She could
missing
be ready
out
to
on.
meet a nice guy, a good guy. You're a good guy.
Thank you.
I mean, yeah, you
And
know,
you're tall.
You've got all
Yeah.
you've got all your
Teeth.
mental faculties and teeth.
Mental fact.
It's you dress appropriate on most occasions.
Right.
You seem to be somewhat together with it. And
Argentinians, they have good physique too.
It's a
Good-
firm
good blood.
handshake.
yes,
Good for I do have.
I'm surprised Mike didn't point when he said that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's like prime grade A beef.
All right, Mike.
Joe,
that's
Joe,
what
don't you have a
move.
column to read?
I do
That's
have a
the-
column to read.
Hey,
Kobe
Joe.
could offer.
Joe, during the days of yore, Mike, the pointing would actually turn you to stone.
A point. If you pointed at another person, the person who did
No.
the pointing turned to stone.
No, that
Yeah.
would be Greek myths.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
No, I think Carlos is right.
Yes.
In the days of yore.
Yes,
No
Yeah.
more your,
All right.
more column.
Tom's bringing us out of yore.
I love yore.
All right, fair enough. Well, Carlos, thanks for finishing up that story, and I think it's a sweet story, and it was
Thank
very
you.
nice, and I'm very happy
It's
for
it's
you.
a happy ending.
She was a sweet girl.
That's
Yeah.
not. No,
Not
it's
in
not
a literal
It's
sense.
No, it's
definitely
not.
not literally a happy
No.
ending. It's an
But
ending.
Good for you, Carlos.
It's an ending.
Good for you.
And sometimes you just need an ending.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Well, I hope it's the beginning, a ending of a beginning, probably.
The end of the beginning.
Yeah.
Better than the beginning of the end.
And
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
that makes sense.
Okay,
that
good.
makes sense.
All right, guys, here we go. This week, am posting and reading a classic column that I wrote back in 2002, and it was, I'm going to guess, it was the most popular column I wrote when I was at Scripps Howard News Service. It was for Thanksgiving. Like I said, it was originally published the week of November 27th, 2002, and I basically wrote about sitting at the kids' table, being, in your 20s and 30s and still having a seat at the kids' table at family events. So I don't know. Do you guys, Carlos,
Yeah,
do you sit
yeah.
at the kids' table?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did or you do?
No, I used to, not now.
You're at the adult table now.
Yeah, now I am.
Oh, wow.
I actually-
Thank you,
Congratulations.
everybody. Thank you.
Congratulations. That's very
Way
nice.
to go.
I got to admit now, like when I have my, family events, big Italian family events, a couple people would be like, "Oh, you should sit with the kids," and I would always be like, "No, let's sit with the adults."
You would, because you were born an adult.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were.
You were born, I think when you were born, you were 32 years old. Mike actually talked about this. He thinks he's a wizard who was born old and is working his way young. Only
Yeah.
he keeps getting older.
Right.
It's like he was born old and he keeps getting older. So,
Well, I wouldn't say that I was a wizard, but
like the same idea of like Merlin, who aged in reverse order, or I think it was Merlin.
wait, Merlin was always an old man.
One of the wizards from the days of yore were aged backwards. I'm almost certain of it.
Really?
So yeah. Anyway, so that's what I wrote about was being from the kids' table, and I wrote it in a certain style and cadence that was similar to like a political proclamation. And I will start. You guys, as always, feel free to jump in. And that's the sound of Thomas scratching his beard.
I'm sitting so on top of the microphone, I didn't realize I should have leaned back before I give the old beard scratcher.
That's a very Days
that was
of Yore
actually
sound.
Yeah.
That was actually me scratching my head, saying, "Why am I here?"
The horses running through the fields.
That was the sound of Bill Bixby scratching his beard, wondering which 12-year-old to smite.
Oh,
Which 12-year-old dating suitor was he going to smite today? So, very good. All right, well, here we go. The Kids' Table Manifesto. To be read aloud before the grown-ups table during the forthcoming Thanksgiving feast. I quote, "We, the lonely minions of the kids' table, in order to form a more perfect holiday, solemnly vow that we will not seek nor accept invitation to ever join the grown-up table. Though you sit in high-back chairs that have seat cushions, and though your strategic location in the dining room puts you mere steps away from the delicious food in the kitchen, we shall never forfeit our right to assemble freely around collapsible aluminum tables in the living room, as far from the kitchen as the house's architecture will allow. As responsible children, teens, and grown adults reaching upwards of 34 years in age, we kids' table peons fully accept the difficulties that come with this challenge. Why young persons should reserve the right to sup together is self-evident, but lest there be confusion, we wish to make the following clear. We listened in on your conversations last year, and we were frightened. Digestive disorders, doctors, dead toenails, growths, parasites, detachable pinky fingers, bunions, freak squirrel attacks, and so on. Dear elders.
Medications.
Which medications are you on?
Medications.
Yes.
How about divorce?
No, not so much with our family. You don't hear it now.
Okay.
It was more of the medical variety about whose body part was doing something that nobody else's human body part has ever done in history. Like things that have never been inflamed before were inflamed.
No.
Yeah, and I don't think it was competitive.
No.
But it was definitely like once you get into a conversational mode, you're in that conversation for a good 15 or 20 minutes. And sometimes when our conversations would pause at the table, we could like overhear what's over there.
Oh, boy.
And you would just hear random words that you never want to hear.
Like hemorrhoids.
Yeah, like hemorrhoidal foot toe.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, like what is
horrible?
That? Yeah,
Maybe other families like argue in that time, and
right.
Maybe ours was just comparing ailments.
Yeah, you know what word reminds me of childhood? Topical cream.
Wow,
that takes me right back to being a kid. The words topical creams. Topical creams, yes, definitely. Antifungal, things of that nature. Anything that ends in oxidil or exicillin.
Or penicillin.
That's a great psyllin. Yes,
It's one of the finest psyllins.
That's a good
It
psyllin.
is. It's good.
Anything like that. Anything. The word sugar.
Sugar.
Sugars. How's your sugars?
Sugar. Our entire family is diabetic, and
Really?
the amount of dessert is piled high. It's like 4 deep on the table.
There was a great SNL a couple weeks ago, and there was a character played by is it Keenan? Who's the one black guy?
Keenan Thompson.
Keenan Thompson, and he came out and he played this woman, and she said, "My sugar beaties are flaring up." She called it sugar beaties.
The older generation calls it sugar. Now we call it diabetes.
Well, Thanksgiving I think is like the Halloween for diabetics because it's the one day of the year where you can scarf down,
But I thought Halloween would be the Halloween for diabetics.
Yeah, so there's already candy, Mike.
yeah.
There's already candy and food.
I
and
think
parties.
Halloween would be your birthday.
No,
because
for diabetics. Thanksgiving is the Christmas for Irish.
Oh, really?
According to Mike.
Oh, okay.
So, in case you didn't know
I think Thanksgiving is a little more justified because diabetics
see
really aren't
that.
supposed to have candy, so you're going to stay away from Halloween. But Thanksgiving, That's a beast of a different color.
They can sneak the
Is it the-
tapioca.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you definitely tapioca huge in our family.
Big time.
Tapioca, really?
Tapioca, sweet potatoes, huge in our family.
How about cranberry?
Why is there always like 4 pumpkin pies?
Yeah, there is.
There's
always,
because there's 15 of us there.
everyone
There's
brings
4
a
pumpkin
pie.
pies.
You know
That's
what?
great.
The best thing in Ohio, our grandma Lucy used to make these is the Buckeyes.
Oh yeah.
It's about a pound of peanut butter, like the size of a golf ball, wrapped in a thin layer of chocolate.
Oh yeah.
And it is outstanding. It's like it's like a Reese's cup, but the proportion of peanut butter is out. It's like overwhelming. Like you
sounds
will
good.
eat
It's
it. You will
delicious.
eat it like a Labrador Retriever. You know, like eating a.
Like my tongue would just be out.
Yeah, your tongue would be out, and you'd be smacking your lips for like half an hour.
But seriously,
Yeah.
like
What's it called again?
It's
A
called
Buckeye.
Buckeye.
It looks like the
Thanksgiving
Buckeye
is
nut.
it is the one day of the year where you really are, you're supposed to eat. That's
Yeah.
your whole point of the
Yeah.
holiday.
Definitely.
Right.
So it's an
Definitely.
excuse.
You
It's
give
like
you give thanks by
eating.
eating.
You should give thanks. Well, we're giving thanks because we live in a very abundant country, a very productive, good country, and it's a day where we go. You know what? We're doing all right.
It's
you know?
But that's like every holiday for us.
Yeah, but that's the one where it's special, I guess. I mean, not like Veterans Day. It's not a great day for our country.
I overeat on
Yeah.
Veterans Day
I mean,
also.
it's a good day to celebrate our veterans, but we're celebrating a lot of there's a lot of things. There's a lot of wars and sadness that go along with it as well. So it's not every holiday.
But really, yeah, it's based on a turkey, which is great. That's what I love about it. It's simple,
right?
Is the turkey our national bird?
It almost was.
Almost was.
It
It
almost
should be.
was.
It
It's
should
the bald
be. I
eagle,
think-
right?
Really?
Yeah, the bald eagle. I think Ben Franklin or somebody wanted the turkey to be our national bird.
It's
and
just it's a versatile bird.
it
How
didn't
about the
work out.
pigeon? Because the pigeon is everywhere.
There are pigeons everywhere, but they're not the most noble bird.
Yeah, they're usually disease ridden.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
are you saying China?
And they're
The
lazy.
pigeon is the China.
Never
They're-
fly.
China's national bird or whatever.
Did you ever see? Yeah, Tommy brings up a quick. Did you ever see a pigeon that looked like it was on a hurry to get somewhere? Like a pigeon, like with purpose.
Well, if you throw like breadcrumbs,
carrier
over it, yeah.
pigeon.
I
carrier
know. Even
pigeons.
if you throw a breadcrumb, a pigeon will be like, I guess I'll go get it.
Yeah, but they had carrier pigeons for a long time.
Yeah, they
that's
do.
that's
Yeah.
what being a pigeon meant something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the younger generation of pigeons has lost the
yeah.
Well, yeah,
has lost the
because-
work ethic of the older
Because
pigeons.
technology has moved on.
Technology has advanced us past the pigeon.
Yeah, Pony Express.
We're on Pigeon 2.0. Well, you call it the internet. The animal kingdom calls it Pigeon 2.0.
Wow.
I think mailmen should still deliver mail.
Oh yeah, I
just
think so too.
By horse, I really do.
horse.
We've talked about this before.
Well,
in fact, I think Carlos.
we talked about a robot.
We talked
delivering.
about in an ideal world, a robot would deliver your mail on horseback,
yes.
and Carlos dubbed it RoboStang.
Right.
Robo-
Yeah,
RoboStang.
that's right,
But
yeah.
I think it should just be a traditional horse, and he should come and deliver your mail to you. And
That sounds nice.
yeah, I don't like our mailman because he delivers mail to the wrong house, and we get that. He doesn't
Okay.
do his job well, and I just think that if you
A
go
horse
back
would
to
a horse would definitely change.
a
that.
horse, like going back in time and making it more difficult, it's like you take a little more appreciation in your job.
It would stink though. All the
There'd
all
be a
the
lot of
shit.
poop, Mike.
Yeah.
There'd be a
And
lot
you
of
get your
poop.
mail once a week.
And you'd have to,
Yeah.
if you walked out, here's the thing. If you walked out there and you went to get your mail and the horse is out there and you didn't have like a carrot with you or something, it'd be awkward.
Oh,
it's like,
gosh.
because there's always the
Yeah.
expectation of horse and like carrot or something
apple.
defeated or apple or whatever. And then you'd have to, you'd have to talk to the
Hey.
mailman about the horse and
Then at Christmas time, you'd have to
Yeah.
tip the horse.
tip
also.
the horse also.
I don't know if you tip the horse.
You have to
I mean,
tip
may-
the horse.
Yeah,
You always
Don't you? Who doesn't
leave
tip the horse?
You'll leave a bushel of apples, Mike.
Yeah. Don't be an ass.
God.
And I bet you the government will probably downgrade, and they'll probably go to like jackasses and mules. and
Right,
stuff
exactly.
Like
Ponies,
that.
yeah,
Just
horse
regular
today,
ponies.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
how it would
eventually
go.
it would be a white truck.
Right. and that's creepy.
Right, right. Eventually, it would be a white truck with red, white, and blue on the side, and the driver's wheel on the wrong side, and that would be that. There's your horse, Mike.
Did you guys ever notice too, like dogs? They always seem to bark when the UPS guy comes. It's like the brown truck. For some reason, they don't like it.
Well, dogs usually can't see the truck from the apartment.
Then
So-
dogs can sense evil.
Right.
So.
I think why dogs can sense their owners' reactions to things, and if you're not expecting somebody to knock on the door, they notice that.
Bless
Yeah.
By the way, that was Jen in the background.
Bless you.
We have our
Bless
friend
you.
Jen sitting in with us, sneezing and laughing.
Wow.
Anyway, so yeah, Mike, I think dogs just get nervous when their human masters get nervous. I've noticed that because I've had a dog for a long time. Okay. Dear elders, holiday celebrations are not a competition to see whose bodily temple is worshipped by the most maladies. Seek not to one-up great Uncle Billy, who has bubonic plague of the hemorrhoid.
Oh.
His is the greatest illness. He has one. Furthermore, the grown-ups table can learn from the kids' table. We speak and laugh of many things, ribald jokes, stories of too much wine, love lost, and detachable pinkies found. Most important, we speak of South Park, of Cartman and Stan and Kyle and Kenny, a boy so closely associated with grim death, it's as if his ghostly visage hovers above the grown-ups table still. Though the temptation to escape the grown-ups table must be overpowering, know that any alien invasion visited upon the kids' table made in an attempt to evade tales of your apocalyptic medical nightmares will not be tolerated. Our conversations will cease, and tales of too much wine will be replaced by a rather efficient consumption of turkey. And there's always one adult every year who tries to jump into the kids' table. How you kids doing? And conversation.
Yeah.
Right out.
That's true.
Because you're talking about, like, we got drunk, we did this, telling stories. And
about sex and stuff.
whatever, yeah. Just it could be whatever. And then your uncle or somebody sits down and you're like, it becomes like there's crickets outside.
It's like the warden enters the prison.
Yeah, it changes the nature and the tenor of everything.
I think they're trying to turn us old.
Right. No, I appreciate it because I know someday that'll be me. I'll be jumping into the kids' table, trying to be part of that. You got to appreciate the effort, but it does always bring the conversation to a awkward halt. It is one of those awkward halts. So, we have chosen as a symbol of our struggle a flag woven from the forgotten Pilgrims and Indians tablecloths, stained forever with the cranberry sauce of indifference. In the near ground, a cheap folding chair. Then mountains symbolizing our ever-expanding, shadow-casting uncles who impede passage to the kitchen.
What?
And far beyond the mountains, the bountiful feast. Now, I love my uncles. They're great guys. But every year
There's just a little bit more of them to love.
Every year their chairs get a little farther away from the table and a little closer to the wall, and it's harder to get to the food.
Oh, boy.
It's like when we were like 10, we could like sneak right by, and they were closer to the table. But then they add inches onto the waistline.
But it doesn't help. I gotta admit, on our end, that we're getting a little bigger too.
We do get bigger too,
so it's harder to sneak
right.
by.
So either they need to go on diets.
We're not gonna be able to.
Right, we need to go on diets, or our Aunt Eileen has to like get rid of that hutch next to the wall.
We gotta get rid of the hutch
because we can't get by it if we want to get to the food.
Is Aunt Eileen Aunt Hair?
No, that's the other side of the family.
Oh,
we have all the aunts with the same hair, who generally have the same hair. No, Aunt Eileen, we love Aunt Eileen. She's wonderful. She's great. We are blessed on both sides of our family. We have great people. We usually do.
Do you guys have somebody in your family who is Thanksgiving?
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's Aunt Eileen to me is
Aunt
Thanksgiving.
Eileen, yeah, she is Thanksgiving.
No.
She looks like and is and represents Thanksgiving.
Well,
she makes the cookies. She makes the food. She does the whole thing. She hosts. She's Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say my mom.
Your mom.
But I'm a big part of it.
Yeah.
Do you get over there at 9 o'clock in the morning, start cleaning up the house, getting the table ready,
putting
putting the bird in the oven, stuffing the bird?
I help my mom, but I don't cook it because my mom does it really well. But
Actually, I thought your dad cooks the turkey now.
well,
on
my
the
mom
grill?
prepares it though. But
Yeah.
my dad just barbecues it now.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah, it tastes really good.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, Thanksgiving at Mike's parents' house is fun.
But that's the funny thing. Like a turkey is actually a healthy food.
It's
everything else that we added on to Thanksgiving that made it
sure.
unhealthy.
Sure.
But if everybody just sat and ate the entire turkey, we'd be better off for it.
I agree.
But wouldn't you be sleepy after?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the beauty
Well,
of the
yeah,
turkey.
I don't even know if I put this in the column, but I remember that all our uncles would immediately, if not immediately, I'll end up on the couch. They would sleep on their backs with their hands folded over their chest like a dead person.
Like they accomplished something or something.
No.
Or
Like they were laid out in a funeral home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it was always like.
But they died happy.
I don't know. Did anybody ever put a flower over one of their chests? I don't know if that ever happened.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah, but
Wait, so they literally just fell asleep?
yeah, they just go to the couch and lay down.
But I mean, the hilarious part is that everybody blames tryptophan and whatnot. Like, oh, the tryptophan in the turkey, tryptophan in the turkey.
Right.
It's bullshit. It's the fact that you just ate 4 pounds of food. Your sugar levels are going through the roof.
Yeah, your body's shutting down.
You're shutting down. You just passed the hell out.
Your body just
Tryptophan. You ate 8 ounces of turkey.
Yeah,
tryptophan. No.
Your
no.
body just went no, shutting down. Like your body's forcing you to go to sleep so you don't eat anymore. Your body's basically saying, you know what you've just been doing has to stop, and I'm going to cease all life functions except for breathing until you stop doing that thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember going to the gym the day after Thanksgiving.
That's a good workout day.
That was a good workout, actually.
Are there a lot of people there?
No, it's cool.
Really?
I could just do whatever.
Most people are out shopping.
Yep.
Shopping.
Exactly.
Well, actually, I went shopping. I went after.
I'm gonna go do all my shopping after Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
but
me too.
All online.
Nice.
I'm gonna do it all
That's the
online.
beauty of
I'm gonna wake up early so I can get those sales. I'll wake up at
I'm on the internet at 6 a.m.
6 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh
the
man.
beauty of technology. You know, you don't have to leave the house anymore.
Yep.
I highly recommend all our listeners
gonna go-
shop online.
No, I'm not going to some stores.
Stay off the roads.
I don't like going to stores
Why walk?
anymore.
Nope.
All right. It has been said that a Thanksgiving turkey divided against itself cannot stand. We, the kids' table, are unified as one. Our unity has been forged in the furnace of neglect and molded into a steel, colder and harder than that which comprises the 1970s-style folding chairs upon which we sit. On this Thanksgiving Day, we kids give thanks, above all, for each other, especially the sisters and brothers and cousins' scary boyfriends who feasted with us these many years as second-hand Thanksgiving citizens. Without them, the holiday experience would be much the lesser, and we'd be forced to listen to Uncle Ted blather endlessly about his on-again, off-again lower back pain. Happy Thanksgiving, my brothers and sisters, cousins, and cousins' scary boyfriends. The struggle continues, but the day is ours.
Awesome.
That's the Kids Table Manifesto.
Wow.
So when I originally wrote that, I encouraged people to read that before they ate, so they could declare their love of the Kids Table. And I had people.
We did it.
We did it. I had people write to me they printed this in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, and I had people write to me and say that they did it too, and they still read it. So it is one of the things that I wrote that really had legs. So I thought I'd bring it back this year because it was a nice holiday thing, and it saved me from having to write a column this week during
You
holiday
lazy
week.
bastard.
I know.
You're
I
so
know.
lazy.
Once you've got a classic, if I can put together 51 more columns like this and just keep running them every year,
Yes.
I will have, because it's kind of like when Charles Schultz made the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. He never had to make another Halloween special again. He made that
year
one.
after year, yeah.
Now I've got my Thanksgiving column done, and if I can put together 51 more like this, I can just keep them in a rotation.
You're like a priest coming up with sermons.
Right. Exactly. So, and maybe like once every few months I'd write a new one, but that's my goal.
Lazy bastard.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
Yeah. So anyway,
man. I didn't even get to sit on a new column. I had to sit in on a column I heard like 4 years ago.
yeah.
Oh man.
yeah, leftovers.
Leftovers.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's always good the day after.
Ooh,
though.
Thanksgiving leftovers.
They are. The Thanksgiving leftovers are great. I'll tell you what's great, and I love eating and doing everything with our family, but when we go to Mike's parents for the holidays, Mike's parents will not let us leave without an entire grocery bag filled with like food, like an insane amount of food.
Even shrimp.
Yeah, like we'll get the
If,
ham, the turkey, the shrimp, the stuffing, the whole thing.
If right after Thanksgiving at my parents' place, like if there was a third world war and everything was nuked, you would survive.
You would live for at least 3 months. Yeah,
At least.
yeah.
Wow.
It is an amazing amount of food, and in fact,
What?
you okay?
Yeah. I'm all right.
All I know is I'm getting really hungry during
Yeah.
this podcast.
Yeah.
What are you drinking, Carlos?
Diet Coke.
Kyle's got Diet Coke. What do you? How's your whiskey and vodka, Mike?
It's not whiskey and vodka. It's just whiskey.
It was vodka earlier,
Yeah.
and now
Right.
it's whiskey.
No. It wasn't
Methinks he
vodka
doth
at all
protest.
tonight. I
You
didn't
just-
drink any vodka. I just
All
okay.
whiskey.
I
couple
took a night
glasses.
off, huh?
All right. Well, I'm sorry you're slowing down for us.
Well, no, I'm not slowing
You're
down.
tooling
It's
it down for the podcast.
It's a little bit of variation.
No, I don't know. It was cooler when it was vodka and whiskey.
Sometimes you gotta sing a new song.
Mike, just go with it, man.
Come on,
go with
man.
It was cooler. I'm
You
telling
should have said no. It's not vodka and whiskey. It's vodka, whiskey, and rum.
And
Come
rum,
on,
yeah.
add to it, Mike.
Yeah.
Come on.
And absinthe. Carlos is pointing at Mike.
Yeah.
Our first point of the night. Yeah, at least once, if not 7 times during each podcast, Mike starts pointing at people.
I know.
So it's maybe one of our favorite moments of
It
each
is.
podcast.
It is.
So if you ever have we talked about how when you go to a concert with Mike, he points at the artist all the
We
time?
might have, but let's just say it
It's
again.
so great.
Yeah.
'Cause
I'm just
we're
saying,
going to see a band called Travis on Wednesday, and I am looking forward to the show, which will be great. And I'm looking forward to when they play one of Mike's favorite songs, where he's going to stand up and his arm goes back and forth, and he just points and points and points.
yeah, but it's like number one.
He makes the connection.
No, but it's
He's
not.
making
It's
a
not a
connection.
one up in the air. It's a finger horizontal.
Yeah.
Like pointing at the artist. Like you're an artist. You're an
I'm
artist.
saying,
You're
like,
playing
you're
a
number
song.
one. You're number
playing,
one.
But there's not a number one.
You're
That's
not.
the point.
You're not mad at
the
him.
number one.
You're not
at
mad
the
You're
at
not mad at him.
You're saying, hey,
you. I know you. I know you.
And you're saying, Mike is saying, that song is good, and I recognize it by pointing a finger at them. That's what you're doing.
At the Joseph Arthur concert, like everybody was doing it.
No.
No. Well, there was like-
the only reason it looked like everybody is because your arm was moving so fast. It looked like many arms. It looked like the many arms of Vishnu, like pointing, and it was just your arm moving in such a rapid fashion. That was the show where our friend Mark, the bass player for Joseph Arthur, is very attractive. And so the whole concert, we were in the front row.
Oh, yes.
The whole concert was Mike pointing.
What's his name?
Yeah, no, it was a girl.
Oh.
Mike pointing and Mark Thomas yelling, Subu, Subu. How did they? I don't know how they finished the concert between Joseph Arthur almost getting pointed in the groin so many times by Mike and Sybil having to hear her name called out so many times. I mean, and we love Joseph Arthur. There was no goofing.
You want to make a connection, and I guess that's Mike's way of trying to physically
I think
make the
if Joseph
connection.
Arthur ever pointed back, Mike would faint into the arms of the man behind him. It would be like the Beatles, like when they came to Ed Sullivan, and Mike would like swoon for a quick second, his hands would flutter, and then he would fall backwards, and somebody would catch him, and then he would run down the street past chasing the limousine that Joseph Arthur is in.
I wonder what would they do during the days of yore?
In the
What
days-
Mike would do.
Oh,
And
no,
then
don't go back to the
during
days
No,
of
in the days of yore, like,
during a
if
Renaissance fair. And,
you pointed at someone in the days of yore, you're
Hold on,
calling for a duel.
listeners, fast forward for about a minute and a half. Mike, continue.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Well, no, I mean,
tell us about
you're-
the days of yore.
If you point at someone, you're calling them out on a duel, so you're gonna have to fight to
So
the death.
Bill Bixby.
Wait, so you want to fight Joseph Arthur?
Why did you want to
No.
fight Joseph Arthur?
There's a
Listen, you're
big
the one.
difference.
Hey, listen, you're the one who always wants to harken back to a simpler time in the days of yore.
But it
And
wasn't
that-
simple.
I never want to
It
go
was
back to the days of
insane
yore.
It was
then.
insane.
Yeah, I don't-
Listen, you talk about yore a lot. For
Well, yeah, I'm
somebody-
just saying how difficult it must have been.
Well,
You know,
what's-
how good we have it now. I
Well-
wouldn't want to take a bath in like regurgitated water,
It was thrown back up or just reused water?
reused water. Yeah,
Recycled water.
See,
Yeah.
back then the water maybe didn't have all the additives and fluorides and things like
Exactly.
that.
Well,
The
that
days
made
of
it
yore,
worse.
the days of yore, the water may have been much nicer.
No deodorant in the days of yore.
I'm tired of Mike shitting on yore. The
Oh.
shitting on yore must stop.
Since when have you dressed up like a knight?
Since when have I not acted like a knight in any situation with a lady around?
Yeah, me too.
You know what was
Carlos
fun?
too. High
You know
five.
what was great? What you should all
Oh
do,
my
like if you haven't
God.
done it, there's a thing called Medieval Times. It's really expensive now. It's probably
Plug.
overrated, but you got to go for one reason there: vegetable soup. Best soup I've ever had at a medieval event.
End the show now.
And it's kind
at a medieval
All right.
event.
It is kinda-
I've been to thousands.
I got to admit, it is
Listen.
kind of cool to like
Uh-oh.
eat really good soup and
Right.
eat meat.
Listen, Mike's been,
and watch like people fight.
now Mike's been to medieval roller derby.
Yes.
He's been to medieval magic show. He's been to medieval batting cages. He has been to medieval disco. And the best vegetable soup he's had of all those
Of all those
medieval
places.
experiences was medieval
Medieval
times.
times.
Medieval times.
Yeah, it's great
It's
soup.
very interesting.
Come to medieval times. Great vegetable soup.
Enjoy the vegetable soup from the days of yore. When
They don't give you a spoon, right, Mike? You have to drink it from the bowl.
Drink it from the bowl.
Drink it
Yeah.
from the bowl.
That's probably regurgitated water.
All right, let's go around the room. Let's get to our aftermath. We're gonna hit right now. There we go. We're gonna rethink that sound effect.
Sounds like a
It sounds like we just shot somebody.
yeah.
It's an explosion.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
I guess the aftermath. When you guys say aftermath, there's always an explosion, and then there's the aftermath.
Right.
So,
Oh, that's
now
why.
we're dealing with
That's
so
the
why.
now I,
aftermath.
I understand
So
where Mike's coming from.
yeah, that makes sense philosophically. You can justify it. Okay, Signor Yor, Michael Constantini, what do you have to say? I'm sorry, Mike. Mike has dragged my comedy down
I know.
tonight. Like this Your talk is just
Very
put
Jeff Foxworthy.
Put me in a bind here, Mike. I'd like to have your aftermath. Why don't you share with us your thoughts on today's?
I think it's interesting, like when you have a kid's table and an adult table. I think it's like a separation of church and state. It's the kind of thing like where, if you're kids and you're listening to like all the talk about, the grown-ups saying like, they have all these problems with their health and everything, and that's basically all they're talking about. You're probably inspiring the kids to do drugs and die early because like the kids are probably thinking, wow,
I don't have much to live for, right?
you
Yeah.
get old and like basically all you talk about is your bladder or
Right.
whatever
That's your future.
associated problem might be. So to me, it's like I think that in families, like I think kids and adults should eat together because adults would probably avoid that conversation with younger kids.
All right. Well,
And
Yeah, I almost
and the
wouldn't
thing that they
mind.
don't, I think what happens is you're inspiring not you guys, but you're inspiring a new series of drug users because you're giving them a bad perspective on life.
okay. Mike says we will all do drugs if we know we're gonna die.
Wow.
It's a very interesting point.
And we
Mike's
live-
saying Thanksgiving is such a reminder of mortality and death
That and we can end all teenage drug use by sitting everybody at the same
you sound
table.
like one of those NBC ads, like eat dinner with your kids. Yeah.
I kind of miss those ads.
No, sweet.
I really do like
Carlos.
that.
Carlos, let's get to
Around
your
the
thought.
Christmas time,
Okay.
they do all that.
Carlos, what do you have to say?
I don't know how to compete with that.
Well, you can, but try.
All right.
It was so succinctly put.
Well, I know it was.
Mike's gift for brevity once again has reared its brief head on the podcast.
Keep on drinking, man.
Yep.
Well, I love Thanksgiving. It's a good time. It's a fun because it's like a 4-day weekend.
It is a
for some
4-day
people,
weekend,
and
yeah.
that's why I always love the experience.
That's nice.
And stuff. But and the family, the friends, all that shit. Whatever.
Do you guys eat turkey?
Yes.
Argentinians eat turkey.
Yes,
Like it's an
we-
Argentinian turkey, though.
No,
right?
That's some kind of beef turkey. I know you guys like beef.
No,
You guys love that
it's-
beef.
Actually, turkey
Is
burgers
there a
might be
turkey burgers is good.
maybe.
Is there a Thanksgiving in Argentina?
No.
No.
Is there anything to give thanks for in Argentina? Fair enough. Fair question.
Possibly, but I'm not too sure.
Okay.
Mostly the soccer team.
Just,
They're-
just football.
Yeah, their country hasn't reached that point yet where they're like, you know what? Pretty good. Thanks.
No, we don't celebrate stealing a Native American.
Oh, come on. Oh, I'm
No,
sorry.
no,
There were
coming
Native
together.
Americans. Yeah, there were Native
Coming
Americans.
together.
There were Native South Americans in South America.
The day after must have been a massacre.
I'm
Trail
sorry.
of Tears.
I forgot Argentina was an unspoiled land with nobody
Oh,
living on it.
hey.
No ancient peoples.
Hey, Argentina is the Ohio of South America.
Does your soccer team always lose in the championship?
Yes, it is. It does.
All right, then yes, it is. All right, very good. And,
Happy Thanksgiving.
well, happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Very good, Carlos. Tom, do you have a?
You listening to this is just inspiring.
Scratch that
No.
beard.
Scratch the beard, Tom.
One of the things I've learned is not to scratch the beard while sitting on the microphone here. Definitely looking forward to Thanksgiving this year. Delicious food and good times. So I want to thank you guys for having me on. It was a blast. So
Good. Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it. All right, and thanks to Jen for sitting in with us and being our audience and giggling and sneezing.
And she'll be on the show next week.
Yes, we will have the lovely Jen Jones on the show next week when we will talk about the world of speed dating and it's actually a speed dating event with bald men. So
Can't wait.
yeah,
That'll be,
Glad you're
that'll
very
be very
excited, Carlos.
interesting.
very good. All right, everybody, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
That's all for this episode of The Second Column. For more information, go to joedonatelli.com.